Today's webinar is about how to prepare and handle support during the holidays. It's hard to believe, but it's that time of the year again, and we're going to show you how you can easily manage your customer support and keep a flexible support staff when you use the HappyFox solution. My name is Belinda Jones, and I'm here to do just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. So to keep noise level down, all microphones have been turned off, but I do hope everyone can hear me. If anyone is having any technical difficulties with either audio or video, please let us know by typing in the question box, and we'll do our best to get you all squared away. By the way, if you have any questions, simply type them into the question box as they come up, and we'll answer them during the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. We'll stay and answer as many questions as time permits. So let's get the show on the road now. Without further ado, I'm going to hand this over to our CEO, Shalin Jain.
Hi, good morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining our number 6 webinar, and I'm happy to do this myself and make sure we get prepared for the holidays and take all the necessary checks on a support system to make sure that the holiday is successful for the company and for your staff and for your customers as well. So today I'm going to be talking about everything that you need to do to prepare and handle your support and make changes to your support system to make sure that it's a success. And before I start the session, I want to let you know that you can follow us on HappyFox app on Twitter. You can use the hashtag holiday season support if you're going to tweet about this event. And also, the event is going to be recorded and would be available on a website within 48 hours. I know it's going to be Thanksgiving in 48 hours, but it's still going to be available, and you guys can check it out after you come back from your holiday. Now, today, I'm going to highlight how support is different during holidays and what can you do to optimize your performance, make sure support remains uninterrupted, take some proactive steps in reducing the ticket volume, and do everything possible to avoid unnecessary escalation of tickets and overall be awesome, still look great as a company doing customer service. So on my agenda, I have what we can do to communicate better with our customers, transferring unsolved tickets to people who are available and versus people who are actually gone on vacation, uh, using a lot of automation, canned actions, and using very sophisticated auto assignment rules, which can make handling support when the staff members in your company might be going in and out, make sure that auto assignments happen really well. Also, take care of your service level agreement. So, if you have SLAs in place, how to make sure that it's well defined, it's complete. And last but not the least is using the self-service as a medium to reduce your support volume and provide the instant gratification to your customers. So let's get started. Most of my demo is going to be right within the app. So I'm assuming you're already familiar with the app or you have an account where you can log in. And if you have already not signed up for HappyFox, go ahead and sign up for HappyFox after this webinar and be able to do and try things out that we see on this demo. So let me get started now. Before I begin, the number one thing on my list is communicate better. Now, if you typically call an airline company during Christmas or during the New Year's, you're most likely to hear a voice message from them that's saying, if you don't need help, if your travel is not within next 48 hours, please consider calling later. Now, what they're essentially doing is making sure they communicate that we want to help everybody who needs urgent support and they have traveled during these times. And since the volumes, all airlines are running full, they want to make sure they're able to service the right customers first and letting other customers support in by postponing their query or postponing their call for a later time after the busy period is over. So that's a great example of how communicating well in advance and communicating the right thing can make your customer's journey much more easier. Now, to make that happen within HappyFox, there are a lot of functionalities that would make this whole process much easier. First thing, I'm logged into the admin panel. I have the support panel, which is the customer serving portal. And this is my backend. I'm logged in as Shalin Jain, and I am right now under the Manage tab. I have all permissions in the system to make changes. I'm now going to review my autoresponder template. Every time a customer is going to send you an email, it is likely that you are sending them an automated response saying, "Thank you, we have received your ticket, and this is your ticket number." Now, we could change that slightly to make sure that we are communicating holiday specific uh, notices to them. So let me just go click on that autoresponder, and I have a default template. I'm going to edit this default template, and I have a dear client name, and I have my regular message, which is here. Now, I've also added a special message, and this is keeping the holiday season in mind where my staff are on vacation. I have a lean team. I want to make sure that urgent issues are handled in a much higher priority. So I have a message saying if this is urgent, call a specific number. If not, allow us 48 to 72 hours to get back. Now you can add this message anywhere in your mail template, and it could be a footnote, it could be something right within the message body, and make sure that this is communicated to every single new ticket that is getting generated during that period. So this is a great way to let people who are essentially sending you an email, let them know what they can expect during this period. The next way of notifying is, let's say if I have people coming onto our support center, they have your knowledge base to access. They can actually get a notice bar on the top saying we're going to be unavailable from 23rd to 25th of December. Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. So you can basically customize this message. You would go here under Manage, General, and then you would be heading over to the support center announcement banner. You can customize this as many number of times as you want to change the message. And every time you change the message, this bar is going to get updated automatically as customer view it. And this stays all through the support center, whether they're logged in, whether they're on the forum, or whether they're on the knowledge base. This is available everywhere. So this is a great way of notifying them if you guys are unavailable or you're experiencing high support volume, which is true for retail companies or companies that are usually selling the most during holiday season. So you can actually customize this message and make it appear. The user always has the option to turn this off, and once they turn it off, the system remembers that they have already read the message. They manually turn it off, and it doesn't show them for the rest of their session or until the message has changed from the backend. So this is a great way of communicating uh, your availability or your unavailability. Next, I would go back to my notification templates and talk about a couple of other templates. So I have my reply template, and I also have my ticket assignment template. So uh, on my reply template, I can actually edit my template here. So this is the email that goes out to every single reply that you send out of the system. What you could do here, you could come here at the bottom of the template if you want to add any marketing promotional uh, news item or alert here, you can actually do that. So this is a great way of, let's say we have saved 20% off during holidays. So I could have this, I could put in a link here and basically take them back to our website. So they might have just emailed you for regular support issue. You got back to them during the holiday season, and you want to promote something specific that is happening within your company, and you want to do it every single email that you send out. This is a great way of doing it and making sure that you're actually able to leverage your availability and be able to take advantage of the timing when customers would probably react to such kind of promotion. So you can actually do a little bit of marketing by using the email templates successfully. So you can also make some changes, same changes to your uh, uh, ticket assignment. So when you let them know that the ticket has been assigned to them, you can actually just flare up your message, make a more friendlier message, and making sure you're covering the holiday theme there. So this is great. So your tickets are coming in, they're getting answered, and the customers are being notified whether they're going to receive support or they have to wait longer than usual. Now, once the tickets have come in and you are working on those tickets, you want to make sure that tickets are still responded within the time frame that you expect to respond. And one of the ways to do is by taking care of people who have gone on vacation, making sure none of their tickets are left unresponded. So to do that, I'm going to write a I'm going to do a save search. I'm going to do a search, and I'm going to say one of my colleague Jonathan is on vacation, so I'm going to look at all Jonathan's tickets. So I will go to the assignee section and I would type in Jonathan, and I can see Jonathan here. I would say show me all Jonathan's tickets which remain unresponded, and I can hit a search and it will show me that Jonathan has two tickets which have not been responded. Now either I can reassign this to myself, or I could just go ahead and reply and make sure that I've taken care of those issues. So this is a great way of backing up someone who is on vacation or who's not going to be available for a specific day and take over their responsibilities. Even managers can log in and actually do a multi-staff assignee. So you can actually add another person here. So I could add, let's say, Pulkit over here and make sure that his tickets are also covered. So again, I can do another search and save that, see that data here. So I have 4 tickets. Now, I might want to have the save search with me for the next 3 or 4 days. So I can actually do a save search. So I could just do a vacation backup search, and I could save this. And once I've saved the search, it is available under the drop down right here. So you don't have to go put in those details again and again. So I have two save searches here. One is just for Jonathan and one is general vacation backup. So this is a great way to actually jump into uh, tickets that are important and need to be resolved. So again, if you're a manager, you're going to take more responsibilities and you want to make this as your landing page that everybody's vacation backup is my top priority right now. You could go to your my settings by clicking on the link on the top right here, and you see an option called landing page, and you could basically make the vacation backup as your default landing page. So every time you log into HappyFox, it will actually take you to that save search. And so that's another great way of improving your workflow when you have very limited time but you have a lot of things to do. Now, if that is not enough, and if that seems too manual a step, you can actually write smart rules. And that's next topic I'm going to jump into, that we can actually create a smart rule which will make sure that vacation backup tickets are actually getting assigned automatically. So I could write a rule, again, call it vacation backup. And I can write a rule saying if assignee is Jonathan, and if the ticket is unresponded, so if customer message is unresponded for more than 5 minutes, uh, I'm going to set assignee to Shalin. So, and I can do this. Let's say I handle only sales, billing, and support. I don't handle logistics. So I can make sure that if Jonathan has tickets in logistics, but I really am not the right person to take over those tickets, I can still opt myself out and make sure only the related categories are covered. So I could save this and make sure that the smart rule is created. And now I don't have to do that manual step of save search and uh, look at those tickets, but actually the system will now automatically route any unresponded tickets which are assigned to Jonathan back to me. So once you're done, and let's say Jonathan is back, you can go back here and turn off this uh, smart rule so that it doesn't trigger anymore, and you have basically now handled the holiday season right. So another thing is, if you want to do the same thing for multiple staff, you can actually go to assignee, and instead of making an and uh, condition here, you can make an or condition, and you can input multiple people here. So if any of these staff members have unresponded tickets and you want to take over, then you are able to do so. So that's one way of transferring unsolved tickets via smart rules. So while we are at smart rule, let me talk about couple of other type of smart rules that you can add that will improve your overall experience in managing support during holidays. The other smart rule I can think of is, let's say if the subject contains free gift. Let's say you are offering a free gift with any purchases of $100, and people are trying to claim their free gift. You have in your terms that you would be shipping out those free gift after 15th of Jan, but people are still curious and they ask you a lot of questions around it. So you can make sure that if it contains free gift, first step I want to do is basically add a tag, and I want to put Christmas promotion as my tag, and I want to make it available for all categories, and basically uh, save this. So I could actually save this and make sure that these tags are getting added. Now I could then generate a report by that tag and get data on how many such queries did we get. The other thing you can do on a very similar note is you can actually, instead of using the option to add tags. Let's say you don't want to go to the step of adding a tag, you can just specifically send a specific email back to the client. So I'll insert there. So if somebody says free gift in the subject, then I'm going to send our terms on free gift. And I could basically format this email, have all the frequently asked questions, 1, 2, 3, 4, and send it back as an automated response, and even consider marking this as closed, and until they respond back, I'm not going to reopen. So you can actually do automated response based on certain subject and kind of help the client in a very, very proactive manner, very, very instant manner. So within like 2 minutes you can send this response back and the issue can auto resolve. So that's a great way of using automation when you know that certain type of issues are going to be asked during the holiday season, which might not have been the case otherwise. On a similar note, where you require slightly more amount of manual judgment before sending out a message like that, you could use canned actions. Our canned actions allow you to actually, while you reply to a ticket, you can actually choose this canned action, modify the canned action based on the customer's message, and make sure it's apt, make sure it's relevant, make sure it has additional information apart from the the response, the predefined response, and it's sent out. So let me add a canned action for example, I have a canned action already set up here, say holiday promotion code. So again, I rolled out a promotion code to my customers, and my customers came back asking some standard questions about whether its promotion is applicable to this, or where do I enter the promo code, and so on. So I could actually create a canned action which is specific to this, and add tags, update the customer, mark it as solved every time I use the scanned action, and set the priority to low. So all these things could speed up the response time, make sure you're manually verifying that the question is relevant, and using the appropriate canned actions. So again, I would recommend, if you already have canned actions running, you already have a lot of transactions listed in your account, revisit them and see if there's anything else added to be added for the season. Uh, you can also uh, add multiple canned actions, and if specific staff want to add a canned action, just making it available to themselves, they could do that. So if you want a personal canned action, which generally the company is not going to use because your role is slightly different, then you can actually build canned actions just for yourself. So we spoke about automation, we spoke about canned actions, we spoke about backing up people who are not available during holidays to support your customers. I want to talk about another interesting aspect of automation, which is even more sophisticated, which is our auto assignment functionality. So we rolled out this feature a few months ago, and we basically let you create a round robin assignment. So, for example, I have a round robin assignment for logistics team. So, uh, let's say just before the holidays, people expect a lot of shipment to be made available to them before holidays, and they keep following up to make sure that they receive their goods before the holiday kicks in. So you are likely to get more if you're a retail company, you're more likely to get logistics questions. And I can set an auto assignment which is round robin, which means it's going to equally divide all the tickets across my staff member. But I, instead of just using a standard round robin which has been on HappyFox for a long time, we do something even better. So we have an auto assignment based on active staff. Right now, I'm marked myself as an active staff. You can see a green dot here, which means I'm currently available to take new tickets. So the system will assign me new tickets if I have more capacity to handle that. And I'll take you through that thresholds aspect in just a minute. So what I've done is I have four staff members who are associated with logistics category. I marked this active and I given a name for this auto assignment, and I'm going to just save this. And so this will make sure that every person who is available is getting tickets assigned in a round robin fashion. Now I can go to the staff members list and I can say, okay, I want to control how many tickets Joseph can handle. So I can set a limit to 5 or 10, and I could make this different for every staff in that list. So I could make this person have 20 tickets as a threshold and save that setting. So what it means is going to assign tickets which are unassigned up to 20 number, and then wait for anybody to get have that availability and then assign tickets. So when I click on this, my own name, I can see what my status is. And right now I'm available. I can make myself unavailable by clicking become unavailable. And when I do so, I can choose to either keep all my tickets assigned to me. I can choose to unassign all my tickets. So I'm just about to leave for the day. I cannot even handle what is assigned to me right now. I could just unassign it so that it goes back in the round robin uh, algorithm and gets assigned to somebody else, or I can safely hand over that to another colleague of mine who belongs to the same category or is available in all the categories. I could make it assigned just to him. So this is a great way when people leave, even few days before the holiday season starts in, they can make sure that they have handed over all the tickets, and you still don't need to do those safe searches and smart roles. So if you enable round robin auto assignment based on staff availability, it's going to solve a lot more issues in a more systematic fashion. So let me keep all my tickets assigned and become unavailable. So if I do that, you would see that the red dot has turned in the green dot has turned into red. I'm unavailable, and that makes sure that I don't get any further ticket assigned to me. Uh, So it's easy to set up. If you have any questions, you can always ask us in the chat box at any point of time, and we'll take those questions and I'll answer those questions towards the end of the session. The next topic I want to talk to you about SLA. Now that we have done so much of automation, our goal is to make sure that all the goals of the organization in terms of response times are kept in check. So SLA is nothing but service level agreements. It's a fancy, a more like a legal term, but essentially it's your internal uh, uh, goal tracker. It can let you track whether you are responding to tickets well in time or not. And I have a goal here that and I can make this active. My first response time should be within so many minutes. And I have this so I time to send the first response should be within 1 hour, and I have an 85% achievement goal. Now, what I need to do is make sure that I take in account the holidays available. So by default, we provide you a default work schedule. Every SLA can have its own work schedule, and I'll show you what a work schedule looks like. So I can go to manage work schedules by clicking on the right hand side on top, and I have my works default work schedule is Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I can set this up to PST. So this is my schedule. Now I noticed that by default there are no holidays added. You want to make sure you definitely go and update the holidays. So I'm going to put one for Thanksgiving and another one for Christmas. So this is going to make sure that on these days the tickets don't get escalated and your SLA clock is essentially stopped. So I have added both the holidays here, and it will make sure that my SLA clock doesn't. Uh, and otherwise, you all your staff members are going to receive emails during the holiday that SLAs have breached, and you don't want to kind of surprise them and make sure that you cover the holidays list on your SLA. If you need to turn off certain SLAs, you can even turn them off for a certain period. But otherwise, you can use those holiday option uh, and as a thing and as an option and make sure that that is taken care of. Uh, So every SLA can have work schedule, and if you're not working uh, day prior to the holiday or day after the holiday, you can also mark that up. So we added one more functionality in the dashboard related to SLA. We actually show you SLAs about to breach. So again, if you are a manager and worried about SLA performance during holidays, you can take this box up, you can customize your dashboard, and you can check tickets that are about to breach SLA. And I don't have any tickets here on this demo yet, but it will tell you which tickets are about to breach SLA, and how much time and what SLAs are about to be breached. And this is a great dashboard to have and see whether everything is in check or not. Now, last but not the least, let's talk about the self-service option. So, uh, generally, I've seen customers when they set up their knowledge base, it's usually during the onboarding session and when they get the system up and running. Holiday is another great time to actually do a cross check on your knowledge base. Make sure you have the latest questions in the knowledge base. Make sure all knowledge base articles are up to date. Make sure you have the notice manager enabled, and you can also ensure that on your social media channels, you can tweet about the self-service portal on a scheduled basis. So while you're gone, while your customers are reaching out to your social media network to see if they might get some support, it's a good idea to tweet out your knowledge base support center, whether it's, for instance, here is glcompany.happyfox.com. It could be a custom domain, and you can tweet that out, and customers are going to be always aware of all the ways they can reach out to you and reach out and get the answers without really reaching out to a human and using the system itself. So uh, let me just do a quick recap. So we talked about communicating better by updating the templates, putting the notice manager, uh, and also we looked at transferring unsolved tickets. So there are multiple ways of doing that. You can use the search and the safe search. You can use smart rules to do that for specific kind of tickets. You can even use the round robin auto assignment to actually make sure assignments are done to the right set of people. I would highly recommend the round robin assignment to larger teams where anybody can handle any support query pretty much. It's a great candidate for those kind of teams. You can also make sure you update your canned actions, make sure you review your knowledge base at least a few days before the holiday season starts in, and also make sure you promote your self-service channels and network to your customers. If you're sending out an automated email, or if you have uh, auto respond I mean out of office responder for your staff member, make sure that you include the support center URL there, so that if they are reaching out to a specific person within the company, they are still aware of the central place that they can go to for general help. So just making sure every employee is listing out the support portal and promoting the support portal using the out of office option can be another great way of making sure that customers are not left without any help, and you kind of make sure that it also lets them know that there is a definite place I can go for support. So that covers everything that I wanted to cover today. I'm ready to take questions. Please answer your questions in the question box you can see on the right side, and I'll start taking the questions just in a minute. I have a few questions already. Before I break into the questions, make sure you're following us on our social media channels. We are on HappyFox app on Twitter and Facebook. We're also available on LinkedIn and Google Plus. We also will be uploading this video on our YouTube channel, which is HappyFox app, youtube.com/HappyFox app. So you can subscribe to that channel so that even if you don't attend our next webinars, or if you want to watch the recording of this webinar and share that, you have access to it and you're notified when the webinar gets uploaded on our YouTube channel. So that's all, folks. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm going to start taking questions right now. So I have first questions from Hans, and it is about, does SLA consider working hours or just measuring time since? So actually, SLA does consider working hours. So you can, if you notice in my work schedule, I have my work hours defined. So let me go back to SLA. So I'm under Manage tab. I go to SLA. I go to Manage Work Schedules, and I have multiple work schedules listed here. So I have mentioned the work hours. So you can actually make sure that it can consider work hours, and the clock will only start at, for in this case, it will start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and at 5 o'clock in the evening, and then again start the next day at 9 o'clock in the morning. So it does take care of your work hours, and you can actually define those work hours. So I have another feedback. Uh, So okay, we have dashboard. We love the dashboard. Tickets about to breach. This is from Scott, and however it includes closed ticket. Is there a way to make sure it includes only pending ticket? Okay, so I can take that as a feedback to include only uh, open ticket, but there's actually a way to do that. You can actually, when you go to your SLA settings and when you create your SLA in the first place, you can make sure you can make exceptions. So you don't actually want any closed tickets to be under the SLA clock. So we recently added this functionality. Maybe you have not noticed this before. So you can actually exclude statuses. So I can exclude closed statuses right here. And once I do this, thereafter, no other ticket which is in closed status is likely to breach an SLA. So this is a great way of controlling what kind of statuses can breach SLA, and then when you see your SLA dashboard, you'd actually be able to notice that it's listing only all other tickets except for closed. So I hope that answers your question. I have another question. About from Hans. It's is there something like sandbox mode to test rules and canned actions before holiday starts? Yes. So one of the easiest way to sandbox things is basically all you have to do is create a new category. Create a new test category and do all your experimentation on that. So HappyFox has that ability that every smart rule, every SLA, every notification is dependent on a category or related to a category. So if you create an all new category, it basically provides you that sandbox environment within the same account, and it also gives you easy access to existing stuff. You can make that, so you can literally call it test category and make everybody part of it and do all your experiments there. And that's a great way of trying out things before actually applying on your main categories. And talking about categories again, everything that I spoke about today can be assigned differently for different teams. You can have different canned actions for different teams, different smart rules and SLAs for different teams. So this will ensure that if logistics is the most high priority time during Christmas, because you're an e-commerce company with lots of shipping pending, then you can actually make sure just them are getting a whole new set of rules and SLAs to follow, and not your rest of your other team. So I have another question okay, so Scott basically is uh, uh, acknowledging my previous answer. So yeah, I have another question from Scott. Okay, so maybe there are. So I'm gonna check that closed option in the dashboard and make sure that that is taken care of. Maybe that ticket was created before, so I'm gonna double check that and we'll revert back to you or a support ticket on this. So I have another question on reporting. So what kind of so can I report on a specific date? And let me show that. So during holidays, you can actually create reports and be specific. So let's say I want to create a report and see only for where tags contains a specific thing. So let me have, um, let's say, holiday coupon or discount. So if any of these tags are there on the ticket, then I want to generate a report. So I could do that, or I could just generate a general report. Let's say all tickets report, and I basically answering the question, can I see data just for that date range? So let me create this report. I've added no special condition here, and I have the report. So I can actually be specific. I would say, show me tickets that have come in last 7 days. and I have 8 tickets that have come in last 7 days, of which seven are assigned, one still remain unassigned. All eight of them are pending. So it shows you that you already have a backlog, and it also gives you an exact volume of how many tickets came on which date. You can see them by status, priority, and assignee, and you can even browse through those set of tickets here. And you can also see how your staff is participating on this. So you can see who's been assigned to which ticket. And so obviously, Charlene and Joseph seem to be guys on vacation because they don't seem to have any unassigned tickets. Or if you see Charlene has so many tickets assigned, or in this case, Jonathan has so many tickets assigned, but he's actually gone on vacation, it's a good way to spot that, we have things assigned to someone who is not available in the office. So it is time to transfer those tickets over to someone else. So I hope that answers the question. Now, you can build more reports on specific conditions. You can also schedule reports, and schedule reports is a great way, especially when people are more away from the system, but they're going to probably check emails. So you can keep things in check during holidays by just making sure you are scheduling emails to you scheduling your reports to come via email, and you can schedule reports. So, for example, I can schedule my all tickets report to come in daily or weekly or monthly. So in this case, during the holiday season, if you are expecting really high support volume, I would recommend you set up a daily frequency of your reports, and you can also report for last 7 days or month to date. So this is really useful, and it will ensure that tickets uh, are coming in the system, and everybody's aware with this report that what is their status and how much of backlog has been already generated. So this is usually good for the bosses and the managers to kind of know without having to log into the system. So with this, we'll see if we have more questions. I think we do have a couple of more questions. And what is the fastest way to respond on all categories the company is closed until? So, all categories. I'm not sure if I get that question right, but so okay, let me talk about increasing just response time. And so I can actually jump to a specific category. So I could say, okay, I have nothing, in fact, in logistics. So I can go to general support. I have about 9 tickets. And if I see a common pattern, I could actually I don't remember my password, and how to reset password seems like a common question. So I can actually do a mass reply instead of replying one by one. And I could actually send out a reply which answers both the tickets at the same time. And the this is great, especially when you get common queries coming in during holiday season because of a new activity that you did, which created more support issues, and you can actually mass answer them once. And again, you can filter by all categories, you can filter by due date and the priority, and all these are great ways to make sure that you're responding to the right tickets first, and generally having a good customer satisfaction rate. So I'm going to go to the next question. Which is about smart rules. Is there a way to create a series of smart rules that remind staff to respond to their ticket? For example, after 24 hours, get a private email, but after 72 hours, the supervisor gets an email. Yes, so that's a great example, and that's something that HappyFox offers. So right now, it would be a series of smart rules, and you just want to make sure you name your smart rules in such a way that they kind of you can relate to all of them together. So I could say reminder one to assigned staff, and I could create this first reminder, and I could say assignee is uh, or I could just say anybody. So I could say just assignee is not assigned, which means the ticket has been assigned to someone, and send an email. And okay, I have to add the time. So if the customer has not been responded for more than 24 hours, uh, then send an email reminding the person whom the ticket is assigned. So I could say insert tag. I could I have multiple options here. I could say I just want this email to go to assigned staff, and you can click on that, and you can write your own email subject. You can use all the data from the ticket, real life data. So I want, for example, the status and the subject in the subject line, and also want 24 uh, hours since unresponded, 24 hours notice or reminder. So you can basically customize this template using all these tags available here, and this will send out an email. So now you want to do the same thing for manager, but you want to do this at 72 hours. So you can actually create the smart rule and make another smart rule which has 72 hours, and you have multiple options here. You can have it go to a supervisor by just simply typing the supervisor name or his email address here, or you could just say, I want it to go to everybody who's a participant on this ticket, who has ever responded to this ticket, or everyone who's subscribed to this ticket, or just everybody in the team. So this is a great way to kind of keep escalating tickets at a certain interval. And if you create your SLA and name it in a nice way, and keep some naming conventions together, you would be able to see them as a group together, and then basically control the whole group as one. So that's one way of having smart rules and have time-based escalations and make sure the escalation go to different set of people. So I have a question here. So the staff performance view is wonderful, but I wish it factored in work schedule. Is there a way to adjust these settings, or is this a new feature that could be developed? So that's a great question. And again, work schedules, the way work schedules are built right now, they're actually either related to a smart rule, or they're related to an SLA, and hence it becomes hard to actually report it by people because it's not based on the person's schedule, but it's based on generally overall schedule of the or overall schedule of the team. So to get do that right, what we have done is basically you can actually do an export using Excel, and we have helped some customers pivot that and make sure they're able to actually factor in the default work schedule and show that data. So we can again reach out to you after the webinar and make sure that we help you achieve that. So I have another question from Nicholas. And is there an automatic out of office message for all categories? Oh yes. So basically, your notification that goes out, which is the autoresponder, is already the out of office thing. You can make it look like out of office by modifying the template. So you can actually create a all new template. So I can create so holiday uh, out of office template, and I could create this new template, create my subject here. We are on holiday, and I'm just going to copy paste that here, and then I'm going to save the setting, and then I can say I want to apply this template just for the next few days, and I could do this for all categories and save it. And basically, instead of sending your standard autoresponder, it is now going to send a very specific autoresponder. Just make sure when you come back from the holiday, you actually go back to your original autoresponder, which is easy because you have not deleted or modified that. You just created a new template. And when you come back, just make sure you switch back to your default template if that works. So you can save this, and this is how you can set up out of office for the rest of the categories. So we just got one moment left, and we have some more questions. We're going to take those questions, make sure we have your email addresses. So we're going to create a ticket for those questions and go ahead and respond to them. So I again appreciate everybody joining on this webinar, listening it all through, and we'll be coming up with more topics. I think our next webinar is going to be around a multi-brand functionality. We actually have rolled out a really true multi-brand of option for people where you can, if you have multiple brands, you can set up those brands here, have different knowledge bases, different rules and SLAs for all of them. So it's a very interesting webinar. My colleague Jonathan is going to cover that next, and we are going to put that up on the website open for registration very soon. and we'll again reach out to you by email. And we look forward to have you all on our next webinar too. So if there are any more questions, feel free to send us an email at support@happyfox.com or visit us at support.happyfox.com. Again, don't forget to follow us on Twitter of your HappyFox app. Thank you so much. This is Shalin Jain signing off. Until the next webinar, and hope to see you guys again. Have a great day. Happy holidays.